again, say what you want to say, and you don't say what you don't want to say. But I ask people from the get-go, where were you born,
Hmm.
and what was life like growing up.
Okay, so I was born in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and I lived out there till I was about 7, and then we moved out here to the coast. Um, my mom's brother lived in Auburn, so we were wanting to move closer to where he was at, and we ended up in Raymond, Washington, where I graduated from in 1998. So I don't know. Growing up, my dad was a Vietnam vet, and he had a lot of issues with PTSD type stuff, and so
How'd that play out? Like, what do you mean?
well, so he he was still. I know he spent his nights awake, and slept during the day and type things. But he had a lot of flashbacks type things, and so we we would we would we would be he would have flashbacks and and so we would have to deal with that. He'd think he was in the war, and so he would barricade us and try to keep us safe when the bombs were going off type things. But he left when I was 10, so um, but he was pretty abusive. Me and my brother got slapped around a lot, and then my sisters were molested by him. And so um, that was all. That was all a really rough time. The 10 years I was alive, and he was in the picture. That was pretty rough time, and so after he left, my mom raised us 4 kids on a part-time job. We were always pretty poor in that, and so I started earning my own money pretty early on. If I wanted anything uh, that was outside of mom's budget, I had to learn how to earn the money myself, and pay for things myself.
Like what?
Just school clothes. If I didn't want the hand-me-downs from my brother, yeah, I'd have to go out and find ways to earn money. So I did. I had a paper route,
Oh, nice.
and I would do pull weeds in old ladies' gardens and stuff like that. And so
So where are you at in the order of your siblings?
I had an older brother, and then I had an older sister, and then me, and then one younger sister. So I was third in line.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And everyone's still around?
No, my older brother, he died when I was 21, and he was 27. He had a pretty bad car accident, and so we lost him, and that was pretty traumatic for all of us, but for me especially because we were so close,
Right.
and I always tell people, like, when you lose someone close like that, it feels like you get a hole in you, and that hole never goes away. And what I've come to realize is it's not a hole, it's a part of their soul that comes and resides in with you, and so because I picked up a lot of his skills and character traits that I didn't have. It feels like um, that's how I've come to realize is that it's not a whole, but it's more like a part of their soul that comes and resides within you. It's what I believe, anyways. I don't know if it's real or not, but it helped me to get through things.
There you go. Nice.
But
And your sisters, you still in contact with them?
yeah, my sisters and my mom are still keep in contact with them. They live back down in Raymond area, and I wound up in Seattle here. I've been a commercial fisherman since I was 18, since 1998, And so I'd go up and do king crab and opies in the Bering Sea, and just the last few years that's been shut down due to just.
Was that because of COVID or no?
No, the species has been kind of just we've mismanagement with the fisheries, I believe, is one part of it, but then also Fukushima, I think, has had a lot to do with a lot of the in fishing. The different fisheries in the Bering Sea have been affected by Fukushima. Yeah, it was like a direct. You could see it exactly from when that meltdown happened, and it's been.
It affected
Yeah.
just like the fish in whatever's in the ocean life,
Yeah.
which affected jobs,
Yep.
just which snowballs.
Yeah. Yeah. So being as that was pretty much my only. That was my career. That was my occupation, and so having to try and find a job since then has been tough because all I have to on my resume is the commercial fishing jobs, and
Skill, right?
that's my skill. But for whatever reason, that's not. I've been having a hard time finding another job with that being on the only thing on my resume.
Yeah.
You know, so, but
I'm curious. Once your dad split, you talk to him.
no, my dad left, and I hadn't seen or spoken to him since then, and then he ended up dying here about 10 years ago. He had been exposed to Agent Orange and in Vietnam, and that led to a lot of his it led to his death. It just affected the long-term effects of it, took him out. So, but yeah.
So what are you doing now? You're looking for work.
So now, yeah, I'm currently looking for work. I'm homeless and I have no income, and so I've been forced to live outside, which isn't that bad during the summer, but the winters and the falls and spring, it's raining now, and it's always tough when it's cold and everything. But
How long has it been?
I've been on the streets now for a year and a half. Yeah.
Prior to that, where were you?
Prior to that, I owned my own home, and I was able to make ends meet by fishing. My fishing job paid, and I was but since things have gone south, and with that, I wasn't able to pay the mortgage, and so I had to let the bank took my home back. Yeah, and so.
Did you have a partner and kids or anything?
No, I was married and divorced in like 2008. I was married in 2006 and divorced in 2008, and I don't have any kids, and so, pretty much it's just, I just have me to worry about, which I don't need a lot to get by, but yeah.
How do you cope, Jerry? What do you use to cope? What do you do to cope?
Well, basically, I've been a drug addict for 20 years as well,
So you learned that 20 years ago.
Yeah. It's always been, an issue for me to with drugs and stuff, and so currently I'm addicted to fentanyl, and I use that to just get me through. You know, it's what helps me to put the blinders on to how horrible things are for me at this time, and it's what I guess you'd say it's one thing that makes helps me cope. Yeah.
Uh, what what's like a dream of yours? Hopes or dreams?
Oh, I got a lot of dreams, and yeah. You want to hear one? Okay, so I'd like to start some sort of real estate in the upper atmosphere
Tell me more.
with like resorts and casinos that you know you can have taxi services take you from land, you know, to the upper atmosphere, and you can spend you know your time in a casino or resort, or even your own apartment or something. I don't know, but it's something that floats around like in the upper atmosphere, like it be on a like imagine it being on a lake, except for it's just floats in the atmosphere. I don't know how that would work, but
So in this dream, you'd be an owner in this one of these?
yeah. So of course that'd take trillions of dollars, I'd assume, you know, and all kinds of research, which you know I don't have any way to fund that. But yeah, that's kind of currently been a dream of mine, you know, fantasy.
Yes. Awesome. Tell me about those beads. I'm curious about your beads.
Oh, these here, I just yeah, right. Actually, I just happened to come across these, and I like black, and so I like to. I don't know. I just actually just put these on here the other day, you know. So they really don't have any significance other than I found them and I liked them, and so I kept them.
What does have significance? Anything that you have that kind of?
Well, no, pretty much everything I have had that held any real.
Hey, don't listen to this guy.
Yeah, it's one of my friends there. Yeah, but you know, anything that holds any significance has been I've either lost or it's been taken from me. You know, so as it is, you know, as far as monetary value, I don't have anything that's really worth much. But what I do have is mine, and you know, I don't have any bills, but I don't have a vehicle or an apartment or anything.
Have you experienced a sweep?
Yeah. We go through sweeps all the time. You know, being forced to live outdoors. You know, there becomes certain areas where you're able to live at and camp at, and it's just a matter of time before the city comes along and forces our encampments to move to somewhere else, you know, and so it's a constant battle between us and the city, you know, these little encampments that form. You know, it seems as once you find a spot that you get set up, and then you know you're just feeling like you're comfortable in a place, and then you're asked to leave.
And where do you go when you leave? What's that process like?
Yeah, it's pretty much the process. Pretty much is, you know, it's just like a big circle. You know, you start here and you move to a spot, and they sweep you there, they sweep you here, and you just kind of go back to where you were, you know, and they let you stay there for a little while, and yeah, it's just kind of always going around, and you know, it's kind of hard because you don't have not having a vehicle or anything to any kind of a storage, whatever you can carry is all you're going to be able to keep. So you know you end up losing a lot of your possessions through these sweeps, and it's hard to watch because they just come and throw everything that you have into a dumpster, and you know.
Are there, so I've heard they're supposed to put them, like, store them or something, and you pick, or...
Yeah, they say they offer storage, but then when it comes down to it, then it seems like there's never any room for it. They say they offer a lot of things, but when it comes down to it, they can't really follow through with anything they offer, and so yeah, it's tough, you know, but it's just the way it is.
Question is, I like to ask is, Jerry, what would you want the people of Seattle to know?
Well, you know, being on the streets, you hear people walking by and the comments they make. A lot of the citizens, I'm sure, they don't like the people that camp out, and they've always got some comments about things that. The thing is they say that there's all this funding and stuff for, you know, the homeless and that but we really don't see anybody. I mean, the people that do come out here and hand out their cards and all that, once, you know, there's never any, every time you try to contact these people or go to take advantage of whatever they have to offer, you know, you just get answering machines, and you know, nobody ever answers their phone. You can leave a message and nobody gets back to you. So
if they did pick up, what would you say? What would you need or want?
well, I don't know. You know, I see that, you know, whatever options they have to offer, I really don't even know what those options are.
Yeah, the resources and options.
Yeah, but there's you're good. There's got to be some way there's got to be something that can be done, you know, to appease the citizens, and also to help the people out, you know, that are on the streets. I don't know what that would be, but
I don't know either. Yeah, we're all trying to figure it out, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the meantime, well, thanks for your story, and I appreciate you doing this. And yeah, man, it feels weird to say all the best.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but
yeah.
I just wish you well, and, you know, hope your story can connect some other folks.